and my breathing exercises, and then I'm in bed by 10 o'clock at night, and it's that simple.
So, what are your hours of operation?
We are open over here. You will always find somebody over here because Fairy lives on the grounds.
Oh, okay.
But we are open for business at 9 o'clock every morning, and we are here till about 8 o'clock in the evening. We like to keep our classes at a reasonable time because we appreciate that everybody has a life, even the yoga teachers. They need to get home and be with their family. So the last class that we offer in the evenings is 6:30 to 7:30, and as always, people will think about this as their home, and they will spend some time after that sitting and getting to know us and sharing their issues of the day. And then they're usually gone by about 8:30, so we get to close at about that time.
Is there, besides, I guess, being inspired when you're very young to do yoga, is there a person or teacher that inspired you, or that you would like to suggest, or maybe somebody read a book that you absolutely love and just tore up every page of it going through it, and you could read it over and over again, or a video of something or someone that they could watch?
Well, I have quite a few favorites. I have never had a role model or anybody that I like to emulate. I do believe that every human being comes with their past life requirements, and mine was to complete this education. But having said that, my only teacher has been BKS Iyengar. He's really been the one that introduced me to yoga, and I have taken it from them. So it's a good idea to know about why you do yoga. So there are many great authors now that explain this in a good fashion. They may not explain the poses, which you can get from every book, but I like his writings. I love Dr. David Frawley because he talks extensively about the connection between the mind, the body, and the spirit. And he has many, many books out there. Study with him if you can. My all-time favorite is Dr. Vasant. He does a great job in Albuquerque, New Mexico, where he is for half the year, and half the year he now has his own school in India, in Pune, where I grew up. He was my first Ayurvedic Vaidya, and so I like to study with him as well. There is, of course, Dr. Svoboda. He's very amazing. He's from Texas, but he's on sabbatical, so he's another amazing person as well. So these are the few people I would say, if you really wanted to study with these people. But the book that I would recommend to everybody was to read the Bhagavad Gita and to understand how it applies to your life. It talks about your physical body, it talks about your mind, it talks about your soul. That is one of the books that you should read. And if you have the ability to go through the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali by Edward Bryant, I think that's a good book to read as well. And that should be in everybody's yoga arsenal. To understand these two books, basically. And the Light on Yoga by Iyengar is also a great book. You don't need a lot of books. What I tell people is, if you really want to understand life, take some time to understand what is Vata, what is Pitta, and what is Kapha. And notice how that applies in your Vata movements, or your Pitta movements, or your Kapha movements. Then you become an excellent yogi. Notice how it applies in the kind of foods you eat. How is the description of your food in terms of Vata, Pitta, and Kapha? Even your breathing can be Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. Even the seasons are Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. Everything can be described in Vata, Pitta, Kapha. So if you understand these three things, then you know, oh, perhaps I am a little bit heated today, my Pitta is high. Or I'm feeling kind of dry or lost in the mind, my Vata is high. Or I'm feeling a little bit stagnant and heavy, my Kapha is high. Then you have the power within you to use your food as your medicine, your breath as your medicine, your yoga as your medicine. And now you have everything at your fingertips, and it's for free. You become your own physician. You see? So this is the time that that they talked about, that we're going to use food as medicine. And this is that time when we are becoming aware and enlightened about it. So all the great sages, all the great teachers, all of them woke up early in the morning and they meditated, and they used these three principles in one way or the other to use the effects of this as medicine on the body.
I would like to know if there's any, I know you said you're constantly learning and growing your knowledge on your journey. Is there one thing that you're looking forward to learning more about in the future?
Yes. Vedic astrology. It's my all-time favorite. I have been trying to study this, or have been fascinated with this, I think since the age of 7. But life gets in the way, and if you have a favorite subject and it becomes a hobby, it's not what you devote all your time to. Well, I have reached a stage in my life now where I do have that time to actually have a hobby that allows me the liberty to study more. And so Jyotish is the science of light. As you know, in the presence of light, there is no darkness.
Right.
And in the presence of light, you have the ability to increase your intelligence. And so that is my icing on the cake. That is my most favorite subject that I'm going to be dedicating a lot of time to.
You've like opened my eyes to so many things that I want to delve into now.
Yes,
it's like,
it's
which way do I go?
It's amazing. You can have it all.
And I feel like I'm definitely one of those types of people that when I find one thing, I just all in it every day, surrounding myself with it, and then I get what I need from that, and I move to the next thing. You know, I guess that's just how people grow. Let's see, what's one of your favorite ways of spending your free time?
One of the favorite ways of spending my free time is learning more about the things that I don't learn. For example, we have a lot of people will tell us that, oh, Facebook is really bad. We're actually going to start Facebook Anonymous for people that want to detox from that.
Oh, yes.
But I will tell you, there are good things on Facebook as well, because there are so many intelligent people that we would never get this opportunity to meet. There are so many gurus, teachers out there that nobody knows. They're not famous. I always tell my students the most famous gurus, nobody knows who they are.
Right.
Because they're doing their own business. They're not interested in this super publicity. They are not interested in showing off their skills. They're just absorbed and truly 100% enjoying the subject matter. So Facebook has put me in touch with some amazing human beings. And so I like to learn through them. And I also like to read. I like to do my research. And so what I would do in my downtime is learn more about the interconnectedness between all the sciences and try to understand how what we call science in the modern world correlates to the science of the old world. And when you find that bridge that explains something that people consider superstition to something that people consider science, and it makes perfect sense, that is just amazing. And that is what I like to do in my spare time.
I do see myself connecting with that, because just teaching to the public, you almost have to watch what you say religious wise, or what you're connecting things with. And I feel that they'll connect with it in their own way.
That is right, because this is what I tell everybody off the bat. A religion is like your training wheels. You know, you don't find many adults riding around on the street on the bicycles with training wheels. So religion gives you this idea that there is something and there is a method to learning to balance that and learn how to use that on your own. And when you find your spirituality, then your religion tends to melt into that. You don't really need it anymore. So it's really wonderful that you find your spirituality, and then it doesn't have to have a name. It doesn't have to have an explanation. It is that one-on-one communication with the divine. And so I explain to them the similarity, especially in my yoga classes. This primordial sound that we talk about is familiar to every culture. In the Christian culture, we sound it as Amen, the Muslim and the Jewish Amin, the Chinese as Hong, in Sanskrit as Om, is just that bringing together of this vibration through the body. And when they have a scientific explanation in addition to this, then they learn to accept everything. They don't feel guilty, oh my gosh, I'm converting to another religion. Because it's not a religion, it is a philosophy of life. This religion, this mine and your concept is new, it's relatively new. Religion should serve to join people together, bring people into community. And this is what I think we are waking up to spirituality now as as a whole world now. We're beginning to see that we're more alike than we're different. And yes, there are some people that will use fear to divide us. And what I say is, in the presence of fear, there is no spirituality. So the antidote to fear is faith. Have faith in something. Find your spirituality. Find your union with the divine and see how it is reflected through you. And when you see that, you're not afraid. You find yourself worthy and you begin to be who you have to be and not who you think you should be. And that is real spirituality, is being comfortable in who you truly are.
Wow.
Yeah, it's very amazing. And so you can have everybody. I have people from every religious walk of life that come in here. And true, when they see me and they see our beautiful statues, they look at me and they say, have you been saved? And then I love to share with them my childhood growing up as Catholic in India, being raised by a Catholic family, and by learning the 27 or more different religions that we have in India and finding out that everything is the same, really.
Exactly.
We're just talking about the same thing in a different language. And if you know about religion, then you don't have to fight about it. If you're fighting about religion and you have animosity, then you're not really religious.
Exactly.
You see?
Yes.
So there is no reason to fight about the same thing. We just have different accents. We just have different views about describing the same thing, but we're all looking for the same thing. We're all heading to the same direction, and we're all on this journey together. And they find that out very soon when they come in here, and then there's no animosity anymore. So we have people of every religious belief over here, and we are very non-denominational in how we bring things. So everybody takes away something that's personal to them by understanding what we're doing in their own comfort zone.
I love how you talk about things that are coming to a head, sort of an awakening of everyone, food-wise, spiritual-wise, you know, and I can see how this magical place you've created here, this community, you know, it just stems from this great idea and journey that you've been through creating this community. It's beautiful. It's beautiful, and
I love it.
And people need to come check her out. She's a great lady. There was one thing else I wanted to ask you. Of course, you said you meditate every day. Oh, I know what it was. In the yoga industry, the health and wellness industry, what is one thing that you have come to dislike, and what do you feel as a practitioner that you can contribute to changing this?
That is such a big question. That is such a big question. And I can say this now because I'm so much more older, and I have found that I have learned to love myself just the way I am. You know, wrinkles, dimples, and all, I've earned every one of those things. But what I have found out is that there is a lot of bigotry out in the industry. We are promoting health, yet you will find, you know, people promoting things like yoga and vino. You will go out and you'll do yoga, and then you'll socialize after that, and you'll drink alcohol, for example. I have nothing against alcohol. I have nothing against yoga. I have nothing against you getting together again. But what it has become has become like a hypocrisy of the fundamental truth about yoga. Yoga is about finding that union within you. And what has happened to it in the West, unfortunately, is it has become something about the outside of you. It has become about going to a certain place and doing yoga in a store where they will market the pants, for example, to you, and making the poses as difficult and as complicated as possible without any regard to the person's ability to do it. So there's a lot of body shaming going on. There's a lot of pressure to have the best and the latest things. There's a lot of putting yourself out there into the public and performing rather than inviting people to really connect on the inside. And yes, I see that this is a business for most people. Yes, we have to pay taxes. IRS does not accept goodwill. But what I say is, that we need to make time to really encourage within every one of our students to find who they are and to glorify that person inside of them, not the person on the outside. As a yoga community, we are failing our yoga students. We have become this rigid industry where we beat people's body into shape. Again, this idea of shape and size is artificial. And we are not able to get beyond that picture book perfection that we are trying to portray to everybody. And that is what really bothers me, is we have gone so far away from the truth of Ayurveda. If we will bring everybody back to the roots of yoga, the 8 limbs of yoga, please read those 8 limbs of yoga. Find out how kind it is to yourself and practice that in your daily lives. I implore all the people that practice yoga, please don't become superficial, don't be body obsessed. Become spirit and soul obsessed. Become obsessed with loving yourself and loving other people, and be kind. And that is really what yoga is about. Is yoga. It's union. It is not separation. Please don't run your opponents down. There is no opponents. There are enough people that we can share in the yoga community. Every yoga teacher can help somebody. Do not become of the competition type where you're going to steal other people's knowledge, other people's studios, other people's students. Do not talk badly about other people. Encompass, love everybody, accept everybody on their journey. Nobody is like you. Everybody is different. They have the ability and the requirement to be different because that is their journey. Don't run people down. Don't shut them down. Don't say bad things. If you can't say something to somebody's face, don't say it at all. Be kind in your words, in your thoughts, in your deed. And please don't make yoga into this mechanical, difficult thing, because it is not. It is a beautiful thing. It's easy. Remember, sthira sukham asanam, strength and ease in the pose. This should be, your whole life should be one of ease. No pain, no gain doesn't apply to yoga. Please, it doesn't apply to yoga. It is sthira sukham asanam, strength and ease in the pose. Learn to breathe. Learn to love your body. Learn to love your pose. Be like nature, flowing endlessly from one thing to the other in enjoying every part of your life. That is the message I would give to the people, and that I hope will change in the near future with all our new growing yoga studios that we have in Houston. I love that we have so many of them here.
Well, I feel like if you taught all of them, it would. But I was just going to, I was just about to ask you what message you would let everyone, or that you wanted to relay to everyone.
Yes.
And so you ended that beautifully.
Yes.
I love the fact that you're talking about the body shaming and the identity that everybody's having.
Yes.
It's so true. And if everyone can just move and shift into the other way of thinking, things would get a lot better.
Yes, true.
So, wow, this was a great interview. I'm so glad I came. And also, Facebook was good because this is how I found her.
Yes, that's why I say everything can be good and everything can be bad. You just have to decide how to use it for you. All is perception. Your reality is your perception, and nobody's reality is wrong.
Well, I'm going to place, in the show notes below of the video, I'm going to place all the books that she recommended, or people who she suggested that you could search after. And, you know, come out and see her and visit and see her beautiful place of business. You will truly fall in love with it. It's, like I said, magic.
It truly is. It's a little piece of paradise. So
thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
And wow, that's all I can say.
Thank you so much for coming in. I love that you're spreading this beautiful message.
Honestly, that's what this is about.
Thank you for doing
letting people know and sharing information, and opening eyes, I guess.
Very amazing. We need more young, beautiful people like you in the world. So continue to shine your light, and I know you will meet very many wonderful practitioners through your journey, and you will heal yourself too through this journey. So I wish you all the best.
Namaste.
Namaste.